This world will find a way to get you under its control. This evil system, this wicked, sadistic, twisted matrix is going to find a way to somehow disrupt your peace, disrupt your individuality, to make you conform to the system, to make you bow down to a system that you didn't agree to. And it's going to get very annoying. But that's the world that billions upon billions of people accepted all over the world. No one chooses to fight like a revolutionary of old. No one chooses to understand or to even read history books or even read esoteric books to understand how did they get a whole entire world to be indoctrinated into systems of oppression, forcing you to pay for water and basic necessities, telling you about religious idols and religious things that they say makes your life better when in reality it makes you basically a servant. You know, in this game Warhammer, there's things called servitors where there used to be people and they pretty much like take their brains out or they destroy part of their brain and make them just a robot and they just do as they're told. If people only thought, you know, I think it was the Führer of Germany in World War II that said how great it is that a people doesn't think, you know. I think he said something like that when he was talking about when he was consolidating his power in a certain demographic at the time, you know, because most people don't think deeply. They don't want to see what's behind the veil. And that's just the way this world works. No one wants to spend their entire life doing things that they don't want, but they have to in order to gain money, in order to gain some type of stability, you know. But what is stability if stability is kind of fragile? What is stability if stability makes you forget who you are? And what is stability if it's not really true stability? Meaning that this job, this occupation, this banking system can end at any time. And then you're just shit out of luck. Can you imagine a world where you get to do what you love for a living and escape this hellish, sadistic, twisted prison? I dream of a day that we rise up and we actually get to do things that we love in this world. Find that love. Find that good girl. I know finding that good girl is like finding a legendary Pokemon, you know, because most of these girls nowadays are not good. They probably got a body count, you know, higher than Stalin at a zenith. And there's no way you can actually really feel like yourself. How can you feel like yourself when you're forced to do things that you don't want every single day, when you don't have the money and you don't have the capacity, you don't have the friend group, you don't have the connections to perfection? You need connections in this world. You know, everybody who made it to the top, they knew somebody. They were connected to something. It wasn't just them standing on the battlefield alone. In every war that you partake in every battle that you partake in, you know, like guys in our position, we're usually alone. And it's why we never really get anywhere far or never really accomplish our dreams that we really want. You need a team. And also you need to have a good girl in your life. I don't think people understand the significance of not having a good girl in your life. Having a good girl in your life changes so many things, man. I was watching this, well, I'm not going to say it because this is one of my favorite ASMR girls to watch. And, you know, but I was watching this one person and, you know, she has like another channel and I was watching that channel and she was like, you know, with her boyfriend and stuff. And they were just going around like Christmas time, driving around the city, went to a Christmas party, you know. And I'm just like, wow. You can see like you see like the twinkle in her eyes. You can see like how she like sits in his lap. You know, they're holding hands by the damn lake. And it's like, wow, these are experiences that you're supposed to experience as a man. It was just normal to him. You know, they start kissing and hugging. And it's like that affection, having somebody that cares about you, having somebody that really wants to be on your side and see you win. Guys in our position, everybody wants to see us lose. You know, people will sabotage you and then call you the loser after they done sabotage you, after they done spoke derogatory towards you, after they done wish for you to never be successful. And then they're going to call you the failure and call you the loser. When in actuality, you may have a talent, you may have perseverance, you may have mental capacity that can put you in a good position, but you never really had the chance to really do your thing. So many men suffer in silence. So many men suffer with internal violence as well. Because when your spirit is attacked constantly, when you're lonely, when you're sad, when you're seeing the girl that you dreamed of with another guy, it breaks you down. How many times have you seen a girl that you really wanted and she's with another guy? How many times? You see a girl like, man, she's beautiful. I would love to have her in my life. And she's with somebody that pretty much mogs you to oblivion, you know? And you're just like, how in the hell? How is that possible? Why is that possible? Is this supposed to happen? Are we supposed to be in a position where we're always suffering? You're suffering financially, you're suffering psychologically, you're suffering without having a girl. You got to go around people you don't like every day. You know, you got to work this job that you don't really care for, but you have to because you need the money. You need the quote unquote stability. You know, some of us are homeless with nowhere to go pretty much. And all we want to do is just speak our truth. That's why I even started this channel. After the passing of my grandmother, I was grieving. I never thought to gain any traction on YouTube, to get, people that, cared about me. Never thought about that. I'm just speaking my truth like millions of other people on this website do, no different. And it's crazy how so many men can relate, how so many people can go through this constant battle and constant warfare we're forced to go through. It's not normal to be at a certain age and not have a woman in your life. There's a reason why it hurts. There's a reason why it's pain in your brain. There's a reason why you're going insane. There's a reason for that. And the reason is not natural. I truly believe that there's evil entities in this world who are controlling things from the shadows. And then you got the NPCs, the non-playable characters who are other souls. They don't have the spark of divinity inside of them. They were created by the demiurge to make our lives miserable. I just got through watching a movie called They Live. And this guy puts on these glasses and he sees these reptilian beings everywhere. And once they notice that you notice them, they start to attack you. So there's no reason why people like me get targeted and get attacked. Because we see through the bullcrap. We see through the damn system. We understand what's really real. Meanwhile, most people never really see what's behind the scenes. Most people never see what's really going on with the world. They're blind, they're brainwashed, and they don't really understand. They think that everything the government says is real. I know you guys just seen what happened in Minnesota. I believe it was Minnesota where the ICE person neutralized that girl. And in my opinion, I think it's just one more step to government tyranny, because that could have been any one of us. And some people say she tried to run the guy over and all that. That's when I didn't see that, if anything, they could have just got her license plate and paid her a visit later if it was that bad. But you got to understand, this is a modern day Gestapo, a modern day, what's it called? The NKVD that the Russians had, that the Soviets had. Modern day NKVD, where they institute semi-paramilitary forces as policing. And then people get integrated and they get used to that. And then they start upping the ante. And now you see everybody protesting, everybody's going mad, everybody's going crazy. But if it was somebody of my skin color configuration, I wonder if would we have the same outrage. But let's not even get into that, Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter your skin color configuration. We're all facing obliteration in our situation. All of us are going through mental turmoil. All of us need a good girl in our life. All of us need some type of sexual alleviation for this mental devastation. This is a corrupt world. No way this is a good world. No way this is a world where you're supposed to be happy. It feels like this world was designed for us to be tormented. It was designed for us to be, just servants to some evil entity. This doesn't seem right to me, man. Being alone with no female in your life. Forced to do things that you don't want in this world. Forced to be around people who despise you. But that's just the way this evil world is ran. It's absolutely brutal and vicious.